Hello and welcome to A Year of Poetry with Randall Eckstein. I'm your host, Randall. In this web series, I'll be sharing my poetry with you each week. This week has been pretty hectic. Anybody with children knows how hard it is when kids get sick. Well, my son, 3 years old, he's been sick all week. 7 days. He got sick yesterday, a week ago. And it's been tough. He's been in the hospital. He's been, well, won't bore you with gory details. But needless to say, it's been kind of hard to get anything written this week. So instead of doing something that I wrote this week, which I only wrote one terrible poem, but I have something that I edited. I wrote it years ago, never finished it. This week I actually sat down and finished it. The feelings were right. So I'm going to read that poem, and then I'm also going to read something that I wrote many years ago, one of my favorite sonnets. I used to write a lot of sonnets. I'm a Shakespeare buff. When I was in high school, my friends gave me the nickname of Shakespeare because I read the complete works of Shakespeare. I had a goal. Before I was 16 years old, I would read the whole complete works of Shakespeare, and I did. I'm very proud of that. And now, looking back, I wish I had made that goal bigger to read Marlowe and Keats and everybody in his same generation, but I just kept it at Shakespeare, and now I'm old and have very little time. But anyway, this poem that I'm going to read for you first is a sonnet called Oracle. Oracle. I whispered the words I had come to say. In humbleness I broke the deep silence, perfectly knowing the size and the weight of the questions and of your prescience. Having said what I came to say, I rose, with hardly a recalcitrant feeling. Your wisdom is greater than mine, I know. Strictly righteous are all of your dealings. How famed are the powers of your cognizance! They are sung all about, both far and near. I proposed many quandaries to advance, and waited for the response to come clear. Within your Delphic glance, the answers rest, and in your cryptic words, the truth is guessed. So that's Oracle, and I like that, the whole Delphic oracular feeling of it. I've loved that poem since the day I wrote it, and it doesn't get a lot of exposure because it's a sonnet. It's a little more difficult, but I hope that you'll enjoy that poem. I enjoyed writing it. The next poem that I wrote years ago, I wrote this before I got married. I was going through a series of loneliness. I'd broken up with a girl, and I was all alone, and I was eager for anyone, eager for something. And I started this poem, and I never really figured out how to finish it. But this week, with my son being sick and all, I finally sat down, and I had a similar feeling, that feeling of I want my son to be well again, even if it's just for a little while. Give him a break. So, combining those two feelings into this poem is called Hoist the Mainsails. Hoist the mainsails and cap that line. Watch the rising swell. A storm is coming, and by the waves it's going to give us hell. A ship adrift upon the sea, no port to call our own, victim of the fickle water, out here all alone. The albatross is circling closer every passing day. Anchors lost, rudders broken, tossing free upon the waves. Wishing for a lighthouse, a mooring for the night, a beacon through the dark, burning sure and bright. But a lighthouse in a storm is a flicker far away, and that embrace is bitter as we crash upon the bay. I'm going to leave that here for you. Hoist the Mainsails. I hope you liked it, and I know this one's a little bit shorter than our previous escapades, but I'm going to leave it here for now and look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye.